Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for a little side quest. This is episode 2 of our game Damsels. This is based on the Netflix original movie Damsel. If you couldn't have guessed, big inspiration for that. Love the movie. Hold off on watching it, and then you could go watch it later and be like, wow, is
Oh
that
my
Natalie Portman or
God.
Millie Bobby Brown? And then you can have that debate with yourself the whole time.
Was this
Yourself,
movie
your
inspired by
friends.
the Dice Cult's one shot?
Did did the Dice Gold one shot come first?
Oh my God. Netflix
uh,
coming to the Dice Cult for inspiration for movie?
Netflix, you can
Ooh.
have it.
I
Uh,
mean, yeah,
it's yours, girly.
that one's
But
on the house.
we are not playing D&D today. We are playing a spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off. We are playing a version of Never Stop Blowing Up, which is a version of kids on bikes. And now our version is about princesses as we start at a D4. And through lucky rolls, we begin to get to roll higher and higher numbers. And hopefully, maybe somebody will get to a D20 that they're rolling, like the good old days of Dungeons and Dragons. We'll get right back to it.
That might be
I'll give
fun.
us a quick little recap of what happened in our first session, and then I think we can jump into things. As you can see, everything's going really good.
Super
Uh,
normal, fine.
all of our princesses received letters from a faraway kingdom of Kaer that they were invited, they were chosen to wed a prince across the water. And for whatever reason, whether it is for oneself or for one's family or kingdom, you make your way, each of you, of fleet of boats across the sea and arrive in a beautiful tropical area. Uh, there is beautiful foliage, and the summer is warm, and this kingdom is beautiful, and the market is colorful, and you get to meet Queen Rhaena Sangray, who is the one who sent you this letter, is the one who summoned you, and pairs you off with all of you are paired off with one of her children. Um, whether you mesh or not, everything seems to be going okay. And the next morning, you have a wedding, and you begin your lives together. But first, there is a little, like, just a casual little family tradition that they do go through for weddings here. And all of you, being polite and understanding, begin to follow the family as they trek up the mountain to the mouth of a cave where a small blood ritual takes place. And after bowing to you and being thanked for joining the family, a lever is pulled, the ground disappears beneath you, and you begin to plummet. Now, this is where I'm going to make a cut because I realized I did not plug in my Ethernet cable, and I already can see it being bitchy. So, hey, not streaming, I can do whatever I want.
Get it,
Oh
Queen.
no.
Get it. We're in the space in between parts of the game. Quick, everyone, run away.
My biggest fear is that it's going to kick me off the internet for a split second and I have to do it all over again, but we'll see.
Yeah, big mood.
Hopefully not.
Mm.
Fuck you, let me look you in. Is it working? Is it working? Is it working? Is it working? Is it working?
Maybe, maybe.
Is it not plugged in? Oh, wait, there we go.
Ah,
Okay, okay, okay,
uh,
okay.
we
Okay, I think it worked out.
okay.
Uh, I'm still recording, it says. We'll see if that destroyed the recording. Anywho, I'm going to jump back into it like nothing ever happened. and you all begin to fall. All of you in your beautiful gowns, fresh cuts on your hands, begin to plummet into darkness.
Highly
Now,
unsanitary.
you begin to fall, and there are a lot of you, and the opening is a bit narrow, and you feel yourself hit into somebody or hit into the wall and begin to kind of ping pong around as you spiral downwards. I am going to need from everybody either an escape roll or an energy roll. The DC for this is 5.
We
Is
exploded.
Oh,
Yay! Let's go.
there's no way I could like ham fist experience with dodging around other bodies on a battlefield
No.
for this situation. All right.
Yours is
neat.
specifically melee weapons.
Got it. Bitch, I exploded!
Yay.
Nice.
Which I guess means Greg and I are both going to be rolling the next dice up, huh?
That's
I
right.
also exploded.
Oh,
Well, there you go. And
Well,
we
I
were
did
worried
not-
about exploding.
I did not
Yeah, well, we
double
did it.
explode, but I
Wow.
exploded once.
I got a
Oh.
3, so I'm going to spend my 2 plot armor to meet
Oh.
DC and not
Okay.
die.
Nice.
There you go.
I got a 2.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
buddy.
Blanca, I'd love to talk to you.
Oh, no.
Everyone else, while falling, an instinct, a will to live kicks in. Some of you muscle your way, like curling in, pushing against the wall to try and like not bash your face against it or break your fingers on impact as you begin to still spiral. Blanca, that is not the case for you as you begin to fall and there is a bit of a protrusion in the wall and your heel hits right into it and you feel your legs start to buckle. I'm going to need you to roll Endure for me, DC 7.
I will blow that up with 1 plot armor, and that is an 8.
Okay. You take it in stride. It hurts like a bitch, but you just let your leg bend instead of keeping it straight, and you just sort of now begin to tumble as you kind of put you into a spin. Instead of breaking your ankle, you are now spinning downwards. And then the floor approaches so quickly. I need everybody to roll Endure DC 10 for me.
Oh, boy.
And remember, if you guys fail a roll, you get a plot armor. Is it worth it sometimes? Maybe not, but
I just realized I had rolled a 5 on my D6 on my last dice. I could have spent a plot armor to double explode that, but
you could have.
not anymore. Holy shit!
You say
I just exploded
see what-
again on that Endure. Wow.
Wait,
DC is 10.
Okay. Plus.
I'm using a plot armor to explode.
Ooh.
Nice.
I'm also going to
God
do
damn it
that.
for nothing.
All right. Everybody,
Oh.
hey, listen, might be worth it. And you just have to be within 5 to not take damage. So that's something to keep in
Okay.
mind.
Okay.
Just failure does not mean damage.
I got 2.
Failure means damage.
Well, sometimes it does.
I'm at a total of 8. I'm assuming doing 1 plot armor isn't going to do anything for that.
There
yeah.
is no reason for you to do that.
I'm at 6.
unless you want to explode and that's on the table and you're like, that's what I want, but that's
Not
up
on
to
this
you.
occasion, sadly.
Then
Not
there
with
is
this
absolutely no reason to do that.
dice. Cool.
And what did the rest of you get?
5.
3.
3 and a 2. Okay. Just enough from Thalia as she makes impact with the ground. Blanca and Scarlet. How does one prepare for completely eating shit? You don't. And all 5 of you, boom, 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 slam into the ground. Blanca and Scarlet, you both take a damage level. You are now currently at the first level, which is oof. So you have 1 point of damage. But you get a plot armor. That's fun. Actually, a lot of you got plot armor on that roll. All of you make contact. Some of you harder than others. Blanca, as you push yourself upwards, you feel something digging into your side. Scarlet, you fully make contact and feel your shoulder crunch hard against a rock as you fall onto the ground. And you are all currently laying on the mossy floor, the mouth of the opening high above, barely even perceivable, if it is at all. It is just darkness and shadow. Blanca, as you push yourself up, you see that there is a dark metal crown digging into your side. And as you look down at it, your own crown falls off your head. And you see the many dark metal crowns that litter the floor in this place. There is in the moss a scattering of different sets of jewelry and all of these very, very familiar looking crowns. You all are now in this dark space together.
Who's not dead? Sound off.
I'm alive. Y'all all right?
Still here.
Anyone badly injured?
No,
Think I
fortunately.
dislocated the shoulder.
Oh, that's nasty. Anyone else?
I think Blanca is stunned for a moment as she stares up. Is there any light up there, or have we fallen that far?
How about you go ahead and roll me educate?
Okay. Which, what DC?
Ooh, thanks, bestie. DC 3.
I got a 3.
Wow.
Oh, cute. A shame,
Lovely.
but also good.
Shame you don't get plot armor, but
Sometimes you want to
also-
fail.
Yeah.
You look upwards, and it is a mass of foliage. It makes it incredibly hard to see the exit or the entrance which you came through. You can see it. It's very high up. You believe you only survived this fall because of the massive amounts of foliage that you all kept bumping into and the mossy ground below you.
Then Blanca will shout a threat up to and say, Marrow, if you don't throw a rope down right now, you'll be walking off this island in a leash.
Lucio!
You all hear. Oh no, you start to shout, but you guys hear that like it's almost like you're in a sound deprivation area because of the amount of foliage. There is no echo to be had from your shouts. So maybe it's making its way through and you're welcome to continue, but you do hear that it's like it might be a bit muffled, but maybe they can hear your threats.
Well,
She'll probably just go on screaming until somebody stops her about like stepping on his nuts with high heels and
yeah.
need stuff.
I do think Vera wants to step in and just shout up, Lucio, you may keep that book of poetry. I'll claim it off your corpse later. That's really all she wanted to say, and we'll start reviewing this gaggle of princesses and see if anybody's in a state to move or needs immediate medical help, such as we're able to provide here.
Yeah. You begin to Blanca, still currently shouting. You
I mean,
begin
I'm
to
sure
kind
it's
of
providing some pain relief, like just the
Yeah.
adrenaline of yelling.
And you're able to start taking stock of everybody. Nobody looks like incredibly injured in like the legs. Everybody seems like, okay, I'm seeing legs moving. I am seeing like people looking around. Most people have said something, like there is like nobody is bleeding out on the floor. Nobody's leg is the wrong way. While you're doing that,
That's good.
Maya and Thalia, you're both kind of next to each other where you have landed, and both of you hear just a thump behind you.
What was that?
Start looking for it. Like she
Yeah.
was crying, completely heartbroken by this new development. It's just like, all right, we gotta move on.
And she's like, oh, okay. And then
New
turns
things.
and looks.
It's fine.
Moving on.
I
You
can't
both
let
look
it mess up my
behind you.
makeup.
Yeah.
Anyway, you turn
Don't
around
cry. Don't cry.
and there is a mass on the moss behind you. It is a fabric wrapped item bound with twine.
Start unwrapping it. Like,
Yeah.
Do you want to? I'll do it.
It appears to be some sort of gift.
From these assholes?
You begin unwrapping the gift. And inside is a torch and matches, a knife, and a bandage.
Scarlett's the only one that sounded injured, so I'll pass the bandages off to her.
I'm not bleeding. It's just kind of jamming her arm against the wall of the cave.
It might be now.
Are you
Yeah,
trying to reset it?
It pops back in.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, poof, and you feel it snap back into place.
Oh,
Yeah, you ever read Fields of Laminda? That's what Chief Herserson did in that book.
These worlds can't be together.
Hearst like the Dickens, though.
it certainly does. I've seen plenty of guards around our keep need to perform violent resettings in the field, but it's a good thing you were able to make that work quickly and cleanly.
Anyone else wounded?
I'll be fine.
Little more hurt than your pride, I hope. Let us not allow this to discourage us. We must persevere in the face of this betrayal. We will not be crushed. We will do the crushing.
I think Scarlett's gonna look at Vera and take a step back, maybe hide behind Maya or something like that.
Oh yeah, and Vera, by the way, is now working on kirtling up her skirts so that she is able to move and to fight effectively. She's going to be tying them up. I can link for what kirtling looks like, but yeah.
Maya's gonna take her heels off and carry them with like you do when their feet start to hurt.
Yeah.
Much more effective as ranged weapons, honestly, than anything.
Well, there's this. So she's gonna hand the knife to Vera. Like, you seem like this fits you.
I do have experience with hand-to-hand combat, yes.
Perfect.
Vera slides that knife into the makeshift belt that comes from tying up the skirts in the kirtling. She has that to hand.
Shall we light that torch?
And I believe should be simple enough.
I
We
want to
have
look at
them-
something.
Don't waste the matches just yet. I want to see whether or not I can get a spark going on the torch. We can save those for just in case.
Sure. You can go ahead.
Vera will attempt to save a match using a spark from the stone wall with the knife in order to try and light the torch that way.
Okay, I am going to inform you it's going to be a very high DC for the wet foliage wall to provide you with a sweet spark. But that
Ah.
doesn't mean you can't try. How about
There
you go
isn't
ahead
any like
and
cleaner
do...
spaces with less
No,
foliage.
it
Not
is
around here.
in the space you are currently in. It is damp and
Mm.
full of foliage. That's currently your
Gotcha.
predicament.
Well, we might have to use the
But
match, but let's try.
how about we do... We're going to do energy,
Okay.
and it's going to be DC 15.
It's gonna be tough.
Doable.
Let's see what
All
we get.
DCs are doable. Just gotta explode.
Let's see what we get. Hubba-dubba. No, that was a 1 on the dice.
All right, you can go ahead
That's
and
a
take
plot
your
armor
plot
for
armor.
Yes. Mhm.
So how are you attempting this? You're
Mm.
bunking the rocks
Yeah,
together in...
I was using the knife to try and like catch a spark off of the rock. I'm imagining with a 1, like I just wound up finding probably the most densely foliaged wall just purely by accident because it all looks about the same. And so I'm just like scratching and scraping, and there isn't a damn spark happening here. Not a single goddamn one.
I think there's actually water on the wall where you're maybe a match.
I believe the match will be the more
Yeah.
efficient in this case, yes.
It's always really damp underground, so it's gonna be probably for the best.
That's a good point.
I've less
So-
experience underground. You have much?
I've got some.
Plenty.
Interesting. You surprised me. I wouldn't have expected that of someone with your
Likewise.
composure.
I've been accused of living under a rock, but I thought that was figurative.
I think it was.
More often than not, yes.
You strike the match and
Mhm.
light the torch.
We got light.
Would you believe that you're in a pit?
We sure are, and there's so many crowns.
There
Can
are
I
so
oh.
many. Uh-huh.
can I use one of my skills to investigate the possibility of climbing back up?
Of course.
How hard
you
would
were
that be?
you are going to consider how hard it might be to climb.
Yes.
So using your skill of climbing, let's say we're going to roll educate -3. So I would say the DC is 5. The DC is now 5.
Three.
Okay, you can go ahead and take a plot armor. I will just present the facts to you. You know you fell for a hot minute. Like, it was a pretty solid fall. You know that the foliage is the reason you are not dead. The walls are damp and covered with foliage. Foliage has its merits, but a damp wall is a damp wall. It is a 90-degree angle from a pretty decent height. It's probably hard. Impossible, maybe not, but it's hard.
Doesn't look like. I don't know if we can make it back up this wall, so we might want to look into some other options.
Based on the care package that was tossed down to us, I would assume there is either a trap or a monster or something down here, so progressing forward is likely the only obvious means of getting anywhere, but we will need to keep our wits about us as we proceed.
Strange plot they have.
It's clear they've been keeping this up for some time. All the evidence appearing to support this. With any luck, perhaps my bodyguard in the marketplace picked up some indication that this is not the first time that this has happened. We'll see. She's clever, but who knows how often this kind of thing is discussed openly.
Aside from crowns, is there anything else laying around on the ground? Anything that looks useful?
Utilitarian of any kind?
How about you go ahead and roll educate for me, DC 3.
Maybe some utilitarian bones.
I exalt from a D6 to a D8.
All right, you exploded. Let's go.
So it's going to be a total of 14.
Ooh, wow.
Wow.
Vastly exceeding.
Or
Hey.
sorry, no, total of 13 rather.
Okay.
Mm.
What do you want to find?
Look at rope would be nice. But just anything else that looks like a tool. Like there's crowns.
I am
Crowns are
very much
usually
telling
pretty
you,
valuable.
I'm going to give you something.
Okay.
You want a rope?
Rope, yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
you find a rope.
Cool.
Maybe it was a gift for somebody else. Maybe it was here long before that. It has been sitting in a damp pit, but you do find a length of rope. It's
Mostly in-
about, by golly, it's about 30 feet, we'll say. You have 30 feet of rope. The ends are a bit frayed and struggling, and it is damp to the touch. But you have a length of rope.
I'm not sure this is going to be enough to get us up out, but if we got to climb, read some books on sailing. Never been on a ship until yesterday. But we could set up some sort of belaying system.
Hmm.
I read how to do it.
We'll see what we need to do if we must traverse some significant distance that's less, perhaps, than this pit. Could well come in handy.
Let's start looking for another way out. Maybe another path. I'm gonna take the torch and just start looking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vera
New
will go
path.
up front with Maya, like having the knife just in case Maya comes across something of a sudden.
Yeah, I will tell you, at least in this configuration, there is no in front of behind currently. It is a small circular area that you're in. Everybody's in front of everybody currently.
Cool.
But if you do find a way forward, you're welcome to stick to Maya at the front. Maya, how about you go ahead and roll? Who knew so many educate rolls were going to show themselves? DC, let's say, honestly, 2.
Educate. All right. Would you believe I rolled a 1?
I believe you.
Plot armor! Pew, pew!
Yeah, take your plot armor.
Wow, this is a lot of foliage. Maybe somebody taller? Look,
Just
I
bashing
mean-
your hand against vines.
Vera is quite tall. Vera is like, did I say 7 foot and an inch, something like that?
So
She-
tall.
She's
I
pretty
don't
tall.
recall that at all, but okay. I won't tell you
Maybe
you're
not
wrong, but
quite that tall, but like she's tall.
Mommy.
I won't call you the tallest person on this world, but,
Ugh,
but
golly.
okay. You can be. None
No,
of my
sorry,
business.
6'1", 6'1", not
Okay,
6'1".
okay. I was
My
just like,
mistake. My
by
mistake.
golly.
Sorry.
So tall.
My mistake very much.
You're just like, why is everybody being weird about it?
I don't know.
Why
No,
is
no,
everybody
6'1",
being
6'1".
weird?
Well, you know,
Sure.
6'1" is tall for a princess, I think.
Are you trying to look around, or are you just swinging at foliage? What are you doing?
I'm going to. Okay, so I would imagine that in my historical reading, I've come across descriptions of oubliettes and other similar places where people are trapped for extended periods of time underneath a castle or a fortification in a dungeon. What knowledge can I bring to bear for finding signs of the exit to this particular oubliette?
I'm not giving that to you, but the DC is 2.
Very well. Yeah, okay.
Educate DC 2.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Listen, you guys can try to convince me of shit all day, by the way.
Yeah.
You guys are welcome to be like, hey,
I
but
will lean
Jillian,
on these 2 skills all day
oubliettes.
long. Oubliettes. That is a 3 on the dice.
Maya's just like, just maybe you got to be taller, and like her
Mhm.
hand pushes the foliage slightly. There is a path where she is standing.
Aha. Yes, actually, if you would just Vera like just reaches a little bit above Maya's head and kind of like pulls aside some of the foliage a little so that it parts so she can see through.
Right, taller. I'll start going.
Exactly.
I was going to try to
Maya-
look lower.
Maya starts leading the charge immediately down this corridor.
Well, we can't have the princess in pink running out ahead without somebody there to keep her from dying. Vera will run up after Maya.
Not running. Just normal pace, you know?
I see.
Normal cave pace.
Yeah. In heels. Because
Mhm.
why would I take them
Mm.
off?
Oh, Vera's lost hers. Vera's definitely like hooked those into her like skirt kirtle belt and is ready to fling those at the next aggressor she sees.
What's the order?
I think Maya's running out front. I think Vera's
Yeah, I know
coming
who the
behind
first 2
her.
are.
Ah.
I want to know about the other 3.
Yeah, I imagine Scarlett's probably following Vera because Vera is, big mommy energy, and looks like if anybody's going to be able to protect us here, probably her.
I'd like to
Almost
bring up
looks
the rear.
Gotcha. You stand there and wait for Blanca to start walking. You're
Someone
like,
has to make sure she's okay.
Yeah, exactly. She did take a nasty bump on that wall.
it's true. All of you begin to make your way through this crawl space, because it does become a crawl space. And you do have to eventually start slouching, and then you move to your hands and knees and have to push forward that way. You're holding the torch ahead of you and like kind of army crawling as you go.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
All
Should
of
we
you. Mhm.
should we each all grab hold of this rope so we stay together?
Perhaps if it gets darker, that might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't think
Let's
it's
hold off for
necessary
now.
yet.
I
Good
only have
call.
2 hands. It'd be really hard to crawl with 0 hands.
Mm.
Ain't
Later,
that the
perhaps.
truth? I only have 2 hands.
I can't crawl with 0 hands. I need at
can't
least one.
do it.
True.
I could inchworm through the crawl
It'll take a
space.
really long time, guys.
Uh,
Just
you
do the
all
worm.
begin making your way forward, your pace slowing exponentially as you begin to have to crawl, and Maya at the front, lack of an arm, you have to begin dragging yourself a bit forward. And eventually that opens up into a large cavern. Stalagmites, stalactites, stalagnates, columns. You can see where some from the ceiling and the bottom touch gently in the middle. You can hear the drip of water and the echo of your footsteps as you all like pull yourself into the space. This cavern is massive. The ceiling is over 100 feet high in places. You can see a couple spots where the sun comes through, but hundreds of feet away. It is not something attainable. And as you all pull yourselves out and put the lantern forward and begin to step in, you can see that the floor is decorated with bones. You see bones littering the place. Towards the center of the cavern, you can see a couple suits of armor and what looks to be like a sword that somebody maybe fell with, and it stabbed into the ground a bit and is lodged there. It looks like there's some things over in that pile, but like the armor and the sword are noticeable, but it's near the center of this very large cavern. What are we doing?
I'd like to see if there's any bones close enough to us to notice distinct patterns of injury. Like, do these bones look like they were slashed? Do they look like they were bitten? Do they look like they were broken? Stuff like that.
Educate DC 10.
See what we can do. It is only a 2. I will take my plot armor.
Some of these, but there's one like right next to you at the entryway. You can not at this moment discern. It looks like there's many different ways. It could be from near anything. There's nothing that's standing out to you compared to this set of bones next to you compared to the other. They do not have the exact same like pattern of injury across their bones.
Interesting. So this does not seem to be the lair of some kind of beast. Or there would be consistent injuries across all of these: teeth, claws, whatever the beast had.
Well, these bones are probably pretty degraded, dilapidated. This is what you're seeing here. This cave, this is karst topography. This is all limestone, and it's an acidic environment. It eats away at the calcium in the limestone, and they're probably doing the same thing to the bones right now.
I see.
That would make sense.
Useful to know. Thank you.
I just gonna look at the bones. I'd be like, are these old bones?
Are these some old bones?
Old?
Bone? Are you old?
Like,
go
I don't know
ahead
if
and
I believe
roll.
These book words.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
sound like big fake words.
Sounds
Go ahead.
fake.
Go ahead and roll educate DC 10.
That's a 2.
Take your plot armor.
I will.
Hey, follow your heart on this one. How you feel about these book words, fully up to you.
I'm gonna start looking through the bones for like a hip bone, something that's good for scooping.
Yeah, you pick up like a half of a broken hip bone, and you're like, got
Nice.
it.
Yeah.
Great.
I can scoop with
Scooper.
this.
Yeah.
It's scoopable.
What is it you are intending to dig?
I don't know yet.
Best to be prepared. A
Is there
job would do for a good weapon in a pinch.
Is there anything in and amongst the bones that are near us? I mean, there's the sword and the armor that are out in the middle,
Often.
but like, are there items that might identify who these people were? Like, personal items, anything like that?
Go ahead and give me educate DC 5.
Take my plot armor, the D8 die that rolled me a 2. So nope.
Meh.
Take your plot armor. There's some pieces of moldy fabric if you're so inclined.
I mean, could be tartans. Distinct patterns if
Do
they
I
still survive.
Do I recognize any family tartans among these scraps of dilapidated fabric?
This is some gross fabric of a faded color, lost to time.
That tracks.
All of you currently stand next to the entrance you walked through in this large corridor. Is there anything else you wanted to do?
Think we should.
It seems too simple. You would recommend around the perimeter, do you think?
Yeah, with caution.
We can't assume there aren't traps.
Been
These people
traps in
send
every
people down here.
been
to
traps
die.
in every mystery novel I ever read.
It would seem that these people have been reading the same novels, so best to keep that knowledge right at the front, I think. Should we split either way? Should we all of us work our way around one end?
I think prevailing wisdom is you stick together, no?
Most likely, while we are within visible range of one another, perhaps it's not quite so crucial,
Maybe some of us take the right side and some go towards the left, and we can.
but meet around the other side.
There is only one torch,
That's true.
but I'm willing to walk without it. Hand it to somebody going the other way.
You have decent night vision from all the cave walking you do?
No clue. We're going to. It's time to try. I'd rather not stay down here.
That is fair. All senses on alert, then sound, touch, whatever you can afford. Smell even could be useful. If we can catch a clean breath of air from a channel, perhaps we might be able to make our way out more directly.
Why don't you go with her, Vera, and the rest of us will go to the other side?
Very well.
I'll go with Maya just to make sure she stays safe.
It is for the best, I think.
Who has the
You too.
torch?
I think we were handing it from Maya around one end, Maya being with Vera and with Blanca, over to Scarlet and Thalia.
I'll give it to Scarlet. Thalia just looks really pale. Like they don't like the light at all. So just
Scarlet's pretty pale too, but yeah.
different kind of pale.
Yeah. I guess Scarlet's gonna take up team left and lead with the torch. Yeah, y'all can come with us.
We're going two ways. We've already decided.
Divide and conquer. And on the off chance that something does desire to strike at us, this way we are not all crowded on one side of the room.
I am not reassured by that.
Unfortunate, but
Let's hope for the best.
stay on your toes.
Guess, yeah, Scarlet's gonna start hugging the wall and making her way around the left side of the room.
Okay. The group splits and you guys begin to do the perimeter of this very large cavern and begin making your way around the sides. Your larger group, now mostly blind as you make your way forward. The other group, smaller, but can see. So, you know, I guess it just depends on what you're looking for. And with that, what are you looking for? What are you doing?
Continuing to look for more paths.
Yeah, staircase that goes up or down.
Yeah,
Where's the
winding
spiral staircase?
Yeah, where's my
Yeah.
spiral staircase to the
Thalia's
surface?
got eyes on the stuff in the center, so she's just hoping to kind of keeping an eye out for anything that looks like a trap, but also just a way to get there.
Thalia, you gotta fully leave the wall and go to it. It is not going to be on your perimeter path to get to the items in the center. And if you want them, you gotta go get them.
On the perimeter walk, Vera is keeping an eye out for traps along our path. kind of like trying to listen for hollow sounding stone as we step across it, or trying to feel for like odd patterns or shifts in air from where like air pockets might be blowing out through a hidden passageway or something.
Okay. Everybody who is looking for a path forward, go ahead and roll me educate DC 6.
That's a blow up.
Woo, let's
Ooh,
go.
Get it, Blanca.
And then a nat 1.
Oh,
So that's 5. But
Hmm.
I'll blow it up with one of my tokens.
Or you'll get it to
Or not blow it up, but match
get it to the
yeah.
number. Yeah.
match. Yeah.
And was that educate?
Yes.
Okay.
Educate really out here. Weird how this system does not have an intelligence and a wisdom. It's just a brain do things. And, you know, good for her.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What did everybody else who is rolling that particular thing get?
I got another God's Forsaken 2, so I'll take
mean,
my plot armor.
Take your plot
Right.
armor. And Maya?
That's also a 2.
Yeah, take your plot
Mhm.
armor.
Plot armor.
I'm building up this plot armor, guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You gotta collect it to spend it.
Let's see. So you guys do that. Blanca's the success. Thalia and Vera, go ahead and give me educate DC 9 for looking for traps and troubles.
I'll take my plot armor. It's a 1.
We exploded.
Good for you.
Let's go.
Oh. 5.
Mm.
Yeah.
Both of you can take your plot armor. There's no trip wires or false floors to be seen.
Thank God.
Thankfully.
To the best of your knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But you all keep pushing forward. How about one representative from each group? Appoint yourself.
Oh. Well.
I'll do it.
Okay. And the other group?
And?
Thalia. Okay.
Didn't know we were doing rock, paper, scissors.
We got places to be. Both of you go ahead and roll escape for me. There is no DC for this. But if you roll a 1, you can take a plot armor.
It did roll
Take a plot armor.
Yeah, but
Oh no.
okay.
Guys, we're just living here.
I mean,
Are we
I did
even
find
living?
one way to go. I did succeed on that check.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You all watch as the torch gets further and further and further away. Your group is pretty distant at this time. You can see the torch, but like you'd have to like full sprint for at least 30 seconds to get over, like a full sprint if you were trying to get over to them at this time.
I underestimated the size of this cavern.
I said it was a massive cavern.
Yes,
Scarlet.
yes, you did. I still underestimated it. That was my fault.
Scarlet, will you follow me with that torch? I think we should. I think we can use something over there. She's going to gesture towards the armor and sword.
Yeah, Scarlet will accompany.
Okay. You veer from the wall. All of you watch the torch veer
Here it
from the
comes.
wall. You watch the torch change direction and begin
Okay.
making its way inward. Blanca,
Definitely observing closely.
while you are walking and looking around, basically hoping that these like sunbeams, these sporadically placed sunbeams, will guide you, that that they are pointing and illuminating something of note. And after staring at rocky wall after rocky wall, you see two possible pathways. One of them is closer to where you are currently, but it looks like a difficult climb. And then there is one further into the cavern away from you, but it looks like an easier climb. So you're able to take note of that, and you kind of log that in. You're like, okay, there's two paths, and you kind of start looking to see if there's another one or something else of note. And Thalia and Scarlet, you make your way to the center of the room and approach these bones. There are three in this pile. They are all wearing a variant of armor. It looks to be mostly plate, so very heavy armor. There's also a sword, and there is what looks like, after kind of like towing at it and pushing things a bit to the side, all of you hear the echoing clink of bones as Thalia just gently pushes things to the side to look. You can see that there is also a bow and a quiver with a couple arrows in it.
Ooh.
This
Well,
could be
well.
useful.
Yeah, Scarlet will pick up the bow and arrow. And do you think somebody want this armor? I'm not sure I'm
Don't know if
strong
we can
enough.
carry it all.
Looks heavy. Should we gesture them over? Come get some themselves?
I guess we could try, but
I mean, don't seem trapped.
you want to wave the torch?
Yeah. Scarlet will wave the torch like, hey, we're all good here.
Look how good we are right here, you say, as you wave the torch back and forth. All of you can glance over and see that the torch is being waved back and forth, and it's like you take that in, and you hear what sounds like the rustle of like a large flag moving in the wind, just like a quick, large rustle,
Okay.
and then quiet.
A quick, large rustle and then quiet. Okay.
Yeah.
Blanca will start just like quietly grab onto the ladies nearest her and start dragging her to the easier climb.
Okay, so you start making the further distance to get to the easier climb.
You're not making a pit stop in the middle of the room?
No, that sounds dumb.
Yeah.
You're welcome to go.
All right.
You can go get them if you want. It's gonna take me a little longer to walk because of the shoes.
Of course. Scout ahead and call back if anything should happen. We'll make our way over.
Two short whistles means that it's safe.
Very well. I will
Okay,
listen
so
for that.
Maya and Blanca are making their way to the climb. Vera is beginning to make her way to the middle, and the two of you are like, and the thing is, you can't really see them. You can see like shadows moving, so it's kind of hard to tell if the group, especially now one person, is approaching you. So you're kind of like, maybe they're coming over.
Yeah.
Vera will kind of like pull the dagger, the knife from her kirtle and sort of like hold it up to let it reflect off of the torchlight so
You
that
can-
it's a returning signal.
You start to
try
approach, you're
anyway.
like, I gotta get near this
I don't
light.
know,
Let
it's
me
like,
your sword for your knife
like-
forward. I'm gonna get this light. You begin making
I
your
don't know.
way towards them.
Yeah, it's like,
That does not
you can-
impede you doing that. The click clack of heels from Maya as she continues forward. Hello. You hear a voice echo and bounce off the walls.
Can we tell from where?
It's echoing and bouncing off the walls.
Boy.
I'm going to grab the sword.
You grab this broadsword and heave it up onto your shoulder and stumble back with it a bit, but balance
So
yourself.
heavy.
At what point is Vera going to be close enough to be able to help kind of like lift that up?
I don't know. Are you running? It's going to take you a minute to walk blindly over to them. You can't see the ground really well.
Running is not advisable then. I will continue to walk, but I will try to make my way efficiently.
Scarlet's gonna knock an arrow if she can figure out how. Like, she's never done this, but she's read all about it. But
Yeah,
Mm.
Scarlet starts trying to knock an arrow. Hello?
What kind of a voice is it? Is it old? Does it sound deep?
It does have a matronly energy to it, I suppose. It does sound feminine leading. It is deeper.
Weird.
Hello?
Someone down here.
Who goes? Is there a princess who's been deposed as we've been?
The hum echoes around the cavern. You didn't need to speak for me to hear how afraid you all are. Your breath. And you should know. You should be.
Oh, good.
And you hear that loud rustle, that sound of like a large piece of fabric blowing in the wind. And there is a shadowed figure that takes flight. All of you see it silhouetted towards the top of the cavern. If you lay down, it'll be much less painful, much easier for you. And there is the flap of wings.
Oh, shit.
Though much less fun for me. And
oh, boy.
it begins to fly in the closest party's direction, which is everybody's direction, but the group in the middle,
Yeah.
this monstrous entity, large and imposing, takes flight through the air in your direction. And you see, as it makes its way forward, when it catches the sun, it is a winged serpent, red snout with sharp teeth, has curved bird-like talons in the front and furred hind legs. It has doubled horns atop its head like a taruka, so just double horns. And you can see that behind it, its tail is long and winding, blue and green scales. And when its eyes catch the sun, they shine like crystals. Death is screaming towards you. What do you all do?
I'm going to sprint towards the middle group. Because I'm not going to be
sprint
alone.
in the direction it is coming from.
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah.
Okay. You begin to run towards it.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll escape for me. DC 5.
Okie dokie.
I will grab Maya and say, don't move. It's free.
You're getting a little hard to hear, Josh.
Just like, don't move, don't breathe.
Okay. And if you're able to like reset your mic real quick, see if it.
Okie dokie.
Oh, it's already better. You fixed it.
Oh, I fixed it.
Nice.
You fixed it. You did it. Yes,
You
girlie.
did it.
All right, Vera, go ahead real quick.
Okie dokie. No. That's a 1 on the dice. I'll take
You
my
are
plot armor.
running forward in the dark across wet stones, and you can only go so fast.
Yep.
So you begin making your way towards the screaming death from above.
Yep.
Blanca tells Maya to not move and breathe. Who else is doing something? There's no initiative, but everybody gets a turn. So whenever you're ready.
Scarlett's got a bow in one hand and a torch in the other, and she's just gonna throw the torch and like run towards wherever she thought that there might have been like cover. Like did we pass one of those stalagmites along the way? And like
Okay.
go try to hide behind that.
Okay,
Like,
you just
sorry,
immediately
Thalia. Like
buy it and you toss the torch and you begin to book it. Go ahead and roll escape DC 3 for me.
that's a 3 exactly.
There you go.
Ahoo.
And you toss the torch, run, and kind of like push up behind a stalagmite and hold position. Okay.
Just with a bow now in hand, just shaking in fear.
Honey.
Okay.
I'm used to being a character that's much more competent at this sort of thing.
Mhm.
Maya, Blanca, and Thalia, you still have a turn if you want to take it.
Step out
Um,
of these shoes.
Mhm.
Free
Might need to
action.
So I'm a little
quickly.
quieter. She's like, oh, maybe the dirt's not so bad, guys.
The click clacks that would mean my death. Maybe a little worse than the dirt.
I will
Yeah.
hold my breath like I was told to as I go towards the way to climb out of here.
Okay.
I think Blanca will follow suit, using the less click-clacky soles of her feet to be quiet.
Okay. Both of you are going to be rolling escape to stealth. This is going to be an opposed roll against the entity. You can only assume that this thing gets the good dice.
Mhm.
The DC is 13.
I've exploded a D4.
Nice.
Woohoo! Good,
Also explode the D4.
Heck
wow.
We got this. We
Yeah.
so got this.
We
You
got
got this. You
this.
got this.
Got
Oh,
this.
Do it a couple more
don't got
times.
this.
You
I
got some
got
plot armor,
a
Quick
right?
a
change.
6.
Let's see. I have plot armor, so we'll bump this 4 up to a 6 with 2 of them. So we explode.
Ooh, there we go.
Well, heck yeah,
So-
girl.
I need
Get
what?
it.
You said a 13?
Yeah.
So you need to hit a 3.
I got a 3 on the D8.
Oh, there
You
you go.
did
So you
it.
got you got a
Okay.
13.
I got 13. Maya runs. So
Maya's
fast.
like so
Quiet.
quiet, so fast.
Runs without breathing.
Just
Amazing.
I was told to hold my breath. And you start booking it. Lucky for you, you do start making a little distance from Blanca, who is currently not as stealthy as you.
Not as quiet.
Thalia, what would you like to do?
I think she's going to kind of follow suit if she can find something to duck behind.
Okay. Are you keeping your sword?
I'm trying to.
Okay. Go ahead and roll escape for me. The DC is 6 while carrying a large sword.
Hmm. Me and my sword. No. Okay, I'm gonna use my plot armor. So
You wanna
that'll put
trade
me
for the dagger.
to 4.
Okay. The DC is 6.
Yep.
Are you making
That'll explode
are you
him.
making it blow up?
Yes.
If not, okay. I was like, if it's not blowing up, don't
The
worry.
4 to
No need to
explode,
do that.
and then yes, then we
and then
the
roll
next
your
one.
D6.
That'll bring me to a 7.
Hell
Okay.
yeah!
With your sword in tow, there is a moment where it like clinks against the ground and makes a sound, but when you are able to get to a spot with some cover, you are able to keep it from once again hitting into something and making your location known. My turn. I'm going towards the person flying towards me on the ground on their little feet. Flying full speed.
I am. I said
this
it.
this monster is going to attempt to kill you.
Ooh.
right.
So it's going to come over, and you see these large bird-like talons, and it comes down straight at you to try and tear at your body. So this is going to be opposed.
Mhm.
1 second, this is our first combat
Oh
roll.
boy.
If I've got the knife out, can I try to parry the claws as with a melee weapon?
It doesn't have a melee weapon. Yours is melee weapon versus melee weapon. So you
Righty.
are skilled in, like, somebody has a sword, you have a sword, and you guys
Mm.
fight. That is the skill you picked.
Okay.
This is a giant bird talon
Mm.
flying towards you.
'Kay.
So go ahead. You're going to roll engage. This is going to be opposed. Yeah, that's how I want to do it. The DC is 5.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do here. Okay, so it's a 3 on the dice. I am going to spend 1 plot armor to explode that
Okay.
and roll my d6, which is a 1.
Mm.
I will
Still meets.
spend. Does
Still
that
meets.
meet?
Yeah,
Does that
it's a
meet?
5.
Okay,
It's
good,
5.
good, good. Okay. Then yes.
As you are running forward, this large, gargantuan, this thing is, you are the finger upon this thing's hand.
Mm.
Slams into the ground next to you, talons ripping up stone, and it like hits you in the face. Like there's like little cuts across your cheek as rock scatters and flies. And it grabs the ground, pushes itself back up, and takes flight again. It is circling around for a second go.
Okay.
It
Interesting.
is y'all's go.
I'm gonna try and take a shot at it with this bow and arrow.
Okay. Go ahead and roll engage for me. You will be going, this will be opposed. The DC is 7.
Yeah, and I think that Scarlet doesn't realize how much force it actually takes to pull a bow. And
Oh,
it's
honey.
like just that little, like she's got like out in front of her, and it's like a little pull, and it just ding.
Oh no.
Oh, a 1 also?
as she rolls a 1, yeah.
Plot armor.
You pull back with as much force as you can, and it slips through your fingers, and the string cuts across your nose and slaps
Oh.
across your tit, and it's
Oh,
like,
no.
oh shit.
That's why the Amazons cut it off. Damn
They're
it.
like, ah, fuck.
It's
As
just
it
pretty
just
flat chested, but yeah.
as close, and if you're pulling it like this, it snaps
Yeah.
right across it.
Oh, that'll
Uh,
snap right there.
And then
And
just
the
a
arrow
look of
goes,
panic. Yeah, just a look of panic on her face as she just watches this thing just and like ducks back behind her stalagmite. Like, that was a mistake. Shouldn't have done that.
Okay. Who's next?
I'm still running.
Yep.
I am also still running.
Let's go. Sneaky run away.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sneaky
Both
run
of you
away.
are rolling escape. The DC is 13 again. It's unkind to y'all.
Okay, I'm starting with the D8 this time. So
That's pretty cool. That's pretty good.
I'll do it this time.
I believe in you.
I'm going to spend 2 to explode, a d6.
Okay.
So that's 6, and then I need like a 7 on this d8.
Yep.
And I rolled a 1.
Mm.
Son of a bitch.
I have a 6 on the D8. I have 3 plot armor. Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Let's get it to a D10.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
do it. We're at a D10. We're
Let's do it.
escaping. This girl, good
Yeah.
at running.
Good at running.
And that's another 8. So 16.
16. Okay. Maya, at the end of this round, you are now at the base of this wall. You can see the way up. So now there's just a climb ahead of you. Blanca, what'd you get?
I only got a 7.
Okay. Okay. Blanca, you just sort of realize, fuck it, and you just have to start running. You're like,
Yeah.
I don't know how she's doing that. Fuck her.
How dare she be so perfect?
This 20-year-old energy, really good.
Ooh.
Fuck her and her soft feet.
Yeah, and her soft
This
hands.
bitch. Okay. You two keep making your way. Blanca, you think you probably make it there next round. Okay. Next.
I think Vera can Vera get to the stuff in the middle of the room this turn?
Sure, you can get there easy peasy. You basically on the way. It's right there.
All right. I know that the broadsword was picked up already. The bow and arrows were picked up already. Was there anything else at this point of use? Any other weapons?
You
There
can
was a
spend
thing
your
of
turn to
armor.
look.
Yeah, I am actually going to crouch in the shadow of one of these big things of armor and use that as cover while I look around for
But
stuff
she's
to use.
7 feet tall.
She's 6
She's
foot 1.
7 feet tall.
And the
She's 6
armor's
foot
too
1.
small.
She can also scrunch herself down.
She's touching the top of the ceiling. There's no way.
She's so tall. She's so big.
So either you are hiding behind something or you are looking for
Or-
stuff. That is
Okie dokie.
that is what we are doing here.
Okay. I will
You can
take...
say you do that, but one
Okay.
thing will actually happen and be mechanically relevant.
I will start off with the hiding.
Okay, go ahead and roll escape. I'll keep the same DC. This is her looking around. The DC is 13.
That's a D4. That's exploded.
There you go. Nice.
D6. Bitch. It is a 4 on the D6. The DC was what again?
13.
13. I'm going to spend 2 plot armor to explode this dice.
Okay.
2 plot armor.
Let's
I
go.
explode to a D8 for escape.
Okay. Need to get a 3.
Come on. It's a 5!
There you go. You kind of pull up the armor while the creature makes its large kind of turn and kind of get under this breastplate. And you're like, if this doesn't work, I'm just going to be crushed to death is kind of
Yeah,
your thought
pretty much.
process.
Yeah.
You're like, you're like,
Like-
that has to work or it doesn't. And then I won't know.
Yeah. It's like, I
Then I'll
don't
be
feel
dead.
like there were better options for cover besides this closer to me. So here I am.
I just
Okay.
love this. I just love the image of Vera holding out a cuirass with a rib cage in it, using it as a shield. Like,
Bone shield.
Thalia,
need
what are
that
you
phone.
doing?
I think can I assume I heard all that? uh
Assume everybody vaguely knows what everybody else is kind of up to.
yeah. Since it's making a circle around, I think I'll try to make my way back towards the wall.
Okay. Are you heading towards where Maya is at the path forward, or are you heading backwards?
Yeah, if I can see her, I'll do that.
Yeah, you have a vague sense of where Maya is, and you like can see her turn, and she goes into a climbing position. You're like, that's a choice, and I'm interested.
Mhm.
So are you just booking it, or are you trying to be stealthy? You're walking across the main thoroughfare.
Yeah. I'm gonna
So are
try
you
to
just running or
Mm.
stealthing? This is just like the main. You're in the middle.
right.
It is
I'd
what
like
it
to try
is.
to stealth, so
Okay, go ahead and roll escape. The DC is 13.
Ooh, 4. We explode.
There we go. Look at all these explosions, guys. Look at you. We'll get to a D20 in no time.
That got me to a 9.
Okay. Take your plot armor. And you begin to try and stealth your way forward. Your foot hits against a stone. Your sword slams down against the ground, and there is a scrape of metal against rock.
Damn.
And everybody who is currently from their different vantage points looks up and watches this thing makes its large arc around, opens its large red maw, and you watch as bright red light begins to emanate from it. And that's where we're going to take our break. We'll be back to it now. And we're back. And the monster flies through the sky, mouth open. Light begins to grow and emanate from the space. And by golly, there's only one person I can go for. And that's Scarlet, standing there with her bow out in the open now, who's staring at death, who turns to face her, sharp white teeth illuminated by fire that explodes forward and encompasses the space that Scarlet is in. There is no dodging this. There is only a hope of enduring. So you're going to roll endure against the monsters engage.
Come on, hun.
What's my
She
DC?
kick. Your DC is, what a lucky day, 8.
Oh, come on, come on. That's doable.
All right. I got to use 2 plot armor to turn that person 2 into a blow up.
There you go.
Explode! D6.
That is another person 2. I'm gonna use my last 2 plot armor
Okay.
to blow that up.
Yeah.
So what did you get on that second roll?
It won't blow. It won't blow it up. It'll make 8 though. So I had a
remember,
2.
to avoid damage, you just have to be within 5. So you don't have to meet it.
Oh, okay. So all right. So
Do you
I'm
wanna
gonna.
hold on to
I'll
those
just.
plot armor?
I'm gonna hang on to the last 2 plot armor.
Mhm.
So it'll be a 6 overall.
Okay. Fire encompasses the space you are in and swirls around you, and you feel it begin to burn at your hair and your lashes. You can feel the edges of your clothes beginning to alight as you kind of stumble backwards from the force of it, from the heat of it, and kind of stumble into the stalagmite that you were next to, and it's able to give you some shelter. It is death. You have felt a close brush with death. And it lands in front of you. That's its turn. Back to the team.
Okay.
Keep
All
running.
right. Yeah, go ahead, Blanca. Keep on running. I mean, honestly, somebody's got
You're
to
saying
survive
it like
this.
it's not
All
the
might as
best
well.
idea.
No,
Yeah, I'm
it's
gonna start
terrible.
Keep
Yeah, no,
playing.
sure.
yeah, no, 100%. I'm
Oh,
for
let's
it.
go, Blanca. I'm climbing. You're running.
Yeah, get going.
Is that
catch up.
Is that
we
the
gotta
Maya and
catch up
Blanca
with
show
y'all.
of
No,
run and
We're
climb?
getting out of here.
Yep.
Blanca, go ahead and roll me escape. And Maya, go ahead and roll me energy. Contested for Blanca. Blanca, your DC is 8. It rolled off of
Okay.
that 20.
I will spend 1 to blow up.
Okay.
That's an 8 plus a 10, a double blow up.
Nice double blow up.
18. And plus 10 is 28.
Damn, killing it. Blanca, you're like, it's not even looking at me.
Damn.
And you just flounce over to the wall. Your next turn, you can start climbing to get away. Maya,
Sweet.
your DC is energy 5.
Ugh, that's a 1.
Okay, so
Plot armor.
do you have
Not enough plot armor, but we'll build up.
yeah,
take
so go
one.
ahead and take your plot armor. You don't even, you kind of like put your foot on it and you're like, huh, and you just
Should
And you
I have
see-
curdled my skirt before I got up this wall?
and you see the creature like land and is like facing away from you and you're like, well, at least I have a second.
I have a
But
second to figure this out. Okay.
I got a
okay.
second. I got a second. But at this moment, you are not able to ascend the wall.
Oh, hey, Blanca.
And Blanca gets next to you.
Oh my god, bestie!
Hey.
Okay, who's next?
I think Vera, Vera is not in a very good position to defend Scarlet. I think Vera's going to use this turn to look for anything in this area that could be useful in this moment. Weapon or something else.
Okay, this is a high stakes scenario. Time is of the essence. You'll be rolling speed, DC, or escape, the words that I made up.
Yes.
You'll be rolling escape DC 7.
Okay. All right. Oh, god damn it. It's a 2 on the dice. Okay, I'll take my plot armor.
Yeah, take your plot armor. I mean, the armor's nice, but
Right.
what are you gonna do?
I mean, I could attempt to give the armor a shove, distract the dragon, and flee myself before it can round on me and try and attack.
As you think this, you look over at the creature as you have been shuffling through bones to find something.
Oh.
Head
It's looking at
turns
me?
over the shoulder 100%.
Hey. I don't know. Am I?
That's your turn.
Okay.
That was your turn.
Righto, I have distracted the dragon.
Yeah, you did it.
I did it.
Yeah.
I did what I set out to do.
Perfect.
I meant to
Who's
do
next?
Like Scarlet like puts her back to that stalagmite and just kind of like shuffles around, like scurries around the other side, like
Uh-huh.
it just tried to be will take advantage of cover and concealment, like just try to be out of sight but also have something between her and this thing.
Okay, so you're going to attempt to hide. This is contested. Once again, there's no penalty to the creature. It is not distracted. It is just aware of you. Your turn was not used as a distraction. But flavor-like, the DC, I explode. So currently I'm at a 20. So let's roll again. If you haven't caught on, all of the creatures' stats are a 20. Okay. The DC is 34.
I don't even know what I'm rolling at this point.
It's
Is that escape or
escape, yeah,
okay,
to stealth.
cool. Yeah. I guess I could bump some die here if I get the right rolls.
Hey, listen, plot armor is great. This is just for you to be unseen.
Okay, I'm gonna get myself a plot armor for that natural one that I just
There
rolled.
you go. I mean, it like turns its head, looks at you, you look at it, and shuffle behind the stalagmite, elbows fully sticking out. It is very aware of where you
I
are.
promise.
Thalia, what are we doing? were we moving?
I think we are moving. I'm gonna chuck the sword back towards where Vera is.
Okay, so I am
The dragon already knows where I am.
Yeah.
so that's going to be your turn. I'm going to tell you you are not very close to her,
Hmm.
and it is a very heavy sword.
Hmm.
You can still try, but that will be your turn, and it may not make it to her. The DC is going to be high. It's going to be kind of a ranked thing where it's like, depending on how high you get from a number I set, the closer it is to Vera.
All right, I'm trying it.
Okay, so we're going to start with an energy DC. Let's start with 5. And I'm going to do steps depending on how much higher than that, how close it gets. Getting a 5, you're at least able to throw it, is what it is. So you could go ahead and roll energy for me.
And question about the rolling. I don't know if I just misinterpreted things, or do we always start at a D4 even, or is it as we blow up we get higher?
Yes, as you blow up, that is your new dice. Whatever you
Okay.
blow up to, that's your new dice.
Perfect.
You can change that on your sheet if that helps. I've been doing that for mine.
I did hesitantly because I wasn't sure if that was what we were doing or not.
Yep,
So,
that's what we're doing.
and you said endure, or
No,
sorry, what?
energy.
Energy.
Energy DC 5 is the lowest to make something happen.
Well, that's a 2.
Yeah. It lands directly in front of you, standing upright.
Wow,
Hmm.
that's kind of
Sword
cool.
in the stone style. Love it.
The creature looks over at you. You're like, and you think it shrugs also, like, hey.
All right,
I don't know what you're doing over there, but you keep it up. I don't know what you're up to over there. You give me a minute.
It's
I
busy.
mean, I heard where that landed, surely.
Yeah, about like 40 feet away from you.
Maybe it caught your attention. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Shunk. You're like, ah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anybody else who hasn't gone yet? I'm not keeping up. Okay. It's time for a bad bitch, as it were. Ye olde bad bitch. The creature slowly walking makes its way around to the other side of the stalagmite, now facing Scarlet and Vera.
Neat.
Close your eyes if you're scared. And you watch light begin to spill through its teeth.
Boy.
Both of you are going to be rolling Endure, Vera and Scarlet. The DC
Cool.
is 12.
All right. No, that's a 2 on my dice.
Okay.
Using
Gain my
good.
plot.
Yeah, using 2 plot armor to bump that 4 to a 6, and
Explode.
explodes to a D8. And it's a fucking 2.
Another 6.
It's a fucking 2. Nope.
Okay.
It's a two-spiracy.
And what does that add up to? 8?
Yeah, 8.
That's 4 short.
Okay.
You live.
All
I
right.
don't probably.
Yeah.
I imagine you ever see a cat and a squirrel with a tree in between them, and the squirrel like keeps to the other side of the other side of the
Just
tree.
keep going. Just keeps going around.
Scarlet, you are able to move in time, and you are just losing like the edges of your hair and pieces of your dress, and you see that your quiver's on fire and you have to stamp it out. Vera, you
Yeah.
watch light engulf you, immediate heat that you stumble back from. Fire licks over the armor. Your arm hits back into it as you fall, and you feel the armor singe across your arm,
Mhm.
burning the flesh there. You take a level of damage.
Oof.
You are, Vera, there is a moment staring at this. The end of days comes to mind. The end of all life. You can stand here and be brave. You will die.
Yeah. Not my aim. I'm not dying here.
And that is the creature's turn as it slowly begins to move. Where are you going, little thing? And is like following you with its head, Scarlet, and you're like, try to keep moving around.
Nowhere.
Yeah, she was like back to the stalagmite
uh-huh.
on her butt, just like scooting, like.
Okay. I think I'll just go straight to Maya and Blanca. Team, we are at this wall.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
I had a question. Do you think I could use this hip bone to help me climb with like my digging skill? To like make handholds up, maybe?
Isn't that a silly
Reverse
little
digging.
thing? I would love to dig upwards, sideways.
like
Small holes upwards?
small hole for to dig.
I'm just saying.
Handhold
Okay.
for
So
hand.
here's Maya. I'm going to present an option to you because sure, sure, it's technically digging. I'll give you that it's digging. Either you can get your bonus right now and do the climb, or you can spend your turn building handholds and it'll lower the DC for anybody else who tries, but you will have to spend your whole turn doing that.
She'll be kind and do that. There's a lot of people that she thinks is making poor choices behind her.
You look over and watch fire engulf two people and you're like, yeah, okay, I got a minute. And you start shoveling little handholds and footholds. You're like, all
Time
right,
to
I
be
got it, I
nice.
got it,
That's
I got it.
okay.
Guys, I got it. Take your time. So yeah, you spend your turn, Maya, making footholds. Blanca, she just made footholds and handholds.
You're welcome.
You're so smart. And Blanca will try to climb.
Okay. I'll lower it by your specialty. I believe I said the DC was 5, so now it's a 2.
And it's escape
It is energy.
or just strength, energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and
So
that's
DC
way
is-
smaller. And I got a 3.
Okay. Blanca, you're like, thanks, and then whoop, you just pull yourself up this bitch.
Yep.
And Blanca, you make it to the platform and can see that this tunnel leads into darkness.
Is the tunnel big enough for this big dragon?
You don't think so?
Then I'll wait until my next turn, but I'll wait to give the signal until after the crackling fires have made it actually hearable, maybe.
Okay. All right, so you're like, I did it, and you wait. Politely. Who's next?
Well, I'm in a world of ow and would not like to be there anymore. In which case, nothing to be gotten from here. Is there any way I can kite past the sword on my way by without clipping the dragon?
So the dragon is like in front of you, sword behind you. So those two things would not pass each other.
Oh, I see.
Though
Okay.
I will just explain the scenario and you can continue as you like, but I'd like to just tell you what you see.
Okay.
You would be running past the sword. It's a grab. The sword is heavy. Still doable. You're strong. You could give it a go. You think you know how to wield a sword. You watch Blanca climb a wall.
That will be difficult to bring the sword up no matter what. I don't have a sheath for it.
No, it would tear through what you currently have going on.
Yeah. All right. What I might trying to think if I can use it as a distraction or as like something I could fling at the dragon.
You get one action around.
Yeah. Nah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and make my way towards the small tunnel where the others disappeared down in order to not get hit with fire again.
Okay, so you're just sprinting. You're just running for it now.
Yeah, it already sees where I am, and I don't think that trying to hide right here, right now is going to help very much.
Okay. Go ahead and roll escape for me. And just keep track of your number.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm rolling with a D8. Do I say my number aloud?
You can say it, just I need you to remember it after this, because I'm not giving you a DC yet.
Got you. Okay, I have got a 3.
Okay. You start moving. You have to pull yourself up away from this armor and in almost complete darkness have to start running.
Yeah. And I'm still probably a bit just woozy from the pain a bit, but also adrenaline sure is kicking in. I don't want to die.
Yeah. Thalia, you see Vera start just running in your general direction. Scarlet and Thalia, what's up? What's good?
Sitting on my butt, with my back to a stalagmite, can I squirm, wriggle my way out of my dress so I'm just in my, petticoat and small clothes?
Sure.
And
I'll
like
say
free up my dress. All right.
Yeah, you slip out of your dress.
That's what I want to do. And I want to, when the opportunity seems to present itself, hold the dress out and kind of throw it like a decoy and then bolt the other direction.
Okay. I mean, you can go ahead and do that now. I'm going to say that's etiquette. Look, it's a pretty lady. It's throw it this way.
Look, it is me, the princess. Whoosh.
So go ahead and roll etiquette. I won't be telling you the DC yet.
I'm gonna use a plot armor to explode that up to somehow up to a D8, which is not where I saw this character going.
Nice.
So at 6 right now, and add 4 to that, so 10.
Okay. Keep hold of that number. Don't forget it. Thalia.
Thalia's gonna continue running.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll escape, and we're gonna hold on to that number as I decide what I'm doing. As I see what I'm gonna do.
Right, using my plot armor to blow it up.
There we go. Let's go.
Wow. Got up to 6.
6. Okay. Let's start. Okay, so everybody tell me your numbers again real quick.
6.
And 6. Okay. Greg's like, fuck y'all. My hands stay on the table.
No signs
I'll show
here.
you
We talk
6.
like men. Yeah.
I'll show you 6.
I'll show you my fingers in hell.
No, because we've already established Greg can't play a mean person.
that is
Greg
true.
would never. Thalia, you begin booking it. Scarlet, you peel off your dress, matador style, and are like, haha, a distraction. You watch as the creature begins to turn and is like, how interesting, this one's slower, and it's already injured. And it's like, but you're very close. So you see it's deciding, and as it turns back towards you, Scarlet, dress up. And you throw it. You watch, and in this moment, realize the intelligent, sentient being that you are dealing with currently. It watches you. You can see the recognition in its face of watching a person pick up its dress and throw it. You can see that it is cognizant of what is going on.
What I had in my head was I'm behind the slag. Behind the
Are
stalagmite.
you like a disappearing act? Is
no, behind the stalagmite with me going one way and the dress going the other, and it has to make a split-second decision is what I was hoping to 50-50 these odds of it goes after me or it goes after the dress in that instance. That's what I had in my head when I came up with this. But if I'm burned alive, then that's fine.
And you got a 10?
Yes.
You know what? For funsies, I will roll against this. I already had you roll. You see it is an intelligent, sentient creature that knows dress from human. But, you know, in the heat of the moment,
I was ready for
what
you to
is a
say, for
dress?
funsy, I'm gonna burn you alive.
For funsies, go ahead and roll endure. No, give me, I'll let it roll for you. It's gonna go for Vera as it does not see you in this moment as a thing that it can attack. There is a moment where it like turns in the direction of the dress drops. What turns sees Vera. So you save yourself from an attack. But Vera is running quite slow and it is going to pursue her. And it is just going to bound forward and it is going to try and come down with claws. Go ahead. By golly. Go ahead and roll me. Yeah, give me speed.
Escape.
DC. Yeah. Escape DC 6.
Okie doke.
You think I'd read the words I put in bold? No, sir. I won't.
Never. Oh, it's a 7 on the dice. You know what?
There you go.
I'm tempted to plot armor explode it. I don't need it to meet this challenge, but
It's up to you.
you know what? Yeah, I'll go ahead and explode this D8 up to a D10.
Okay. Roll again. Keep rolling.
Thank you kindly. I think I shall. Oh, here we go. That adds. It adds a 1.
All right.
It's a total of what, 8?
Okay. You feel rock explode behind you. The creature is currently now following you in the direction towards the wall.
Oh, neat. Cool.
Okay. What's up? Blanca, you're vibing at the top. Anything in particular? I'll go to you first.
Blanca is going to give the 2 quick short whistles saying that safety is in this direction, which Vera and Maya would know, but Talia and Scarlet, they can assume whatever they want. And
I mean, if we're booking our way towards where that sound's coming from, like that's
hope
the
it's-
last safe place we're going
Talia's
to
like,
get.
either it's safe or I'm going to die when I get there. Those are literally the 2 options for what that could mean.
Yep.
And then Blanca is going to disappear as best she can down this hallway.
All right.
Don't know what's at the other end.
Yeah, Blanca, you just book it. You're like, you watched how far that thing could breathe fire. You're like,
Yeah.
and it's now flying at, like, it's now running full speed in your direction.
Yeah.
Maya, you turn around and you're like, well, that worked out timing wise, I suppose.
Time to
Off we
climb.
go.
Okay, Maya, the DC is energy 2.
Got it.
Very easy.
Well, that die did not land in my tray, but it's a 4.
There you go. And I assume that you've already exploded
I
energy
did,
before.
sadly.
Yeah, I assume that we're not still on a D4 with energy.
No.
No, never. You climb up and you see Blanca disappear into the corridor. Are you following?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you're like,
my teammate right there.
Blanca and I have been through this together. Let's go. And you run after Blanca. Maya and Blanca are now officially out of the cavern. Meanwhile,
Good.
3 remain in the cavern. What are we doing?
Yes. I think because Vera hears the whistle, she just shouts out, "We've got to get over there now!" And book it for that direction, trying to get over there. Hopefully, Thalia and Scarlet will follow suit. She's going for safety.
Okay. And Thalia, are you also running for safety? Okay. So both of you are now kind of in like a, okay, we're next to each other. We are running.
Yep.
So both of you can go ahead and roll speed.
Mm.
You will be contested by the creature trying to keep up with you.
We can
The
escape this
DC
thing.
is 5.
Hmm.
These dice are about to go take a little break.
Oh, dear me. Ooh,
Okay.
that's a 6 on my dice.
Okay. Thalia, go ahead and take your plot armor.
Ooh.
Vera, you start gaining ground. Thalia, you're like, I'll be there next round. Vera, you get to the wall this round.
Okay.
Scarlet.
Scarlett's gonna scoop up her damp rope and her bow and arrow, and she's heading back the way they came in, like the
Okay.
opposite direction. This thing's got its back to her now. She's going back the way we came. Not the long way around the wall. Straight shot, heading for whatever hole looks the smallest that this thing can't fit through.
Okay. You only know of currently you only know of one other option, so you have to go back to the entrance. Go ahead and because you are, I would assume, stealthing, trying not to get its attention.
Yeah, quick waddle. I guess that's where we're at.
So it's either stealthing or running is the question.
Yeah, stealthing. Yeah, we're out of view.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a dark room.
Yeah, go ahead and roll escape. That doesn't matter to it. The DC, fuck me, is an 8.
Okay.
What other dice wants to?
Yeah. No, that's it's a fail. It's a 5 out of 6, and I don't have any plot armor until this
Okay.
failure. So
Yeah, you got a plot armor. Okay. Boy, howdy, now a creature has some choices to make. There's the group. And then there's the person by themselves. I'm gonna roll for it. Which thing suits my fancy the most? Is continuing in this direction or going and cornering something all alone? Let's see. Let's see. Vera, odds or evens?
Who? Okay. Odds.
Okay. It clocks where Scarlet is going. By golly, but there's a couple of you here, and what if you can roast multiple people at the same time? That's just a good call. And
Efficient.
there's an understanding of where Scarlet is going, and then a focus back to the main thoroughfare, which is going to be Thalia and Vera, as you can feel heat behind both of you. So you guys are both going to be rolling Endure.
Oh boy.
The DC is 7. I brought out these new dice. Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I do that?
Ooh, okay. It's a 5 on the dice. I'm going to spend 1 plot armor to explode that
There you go.
up to a D8, which adds 2. So that's a total of 8. Yes, 8.
And Thalia?
I also used the plot armor to explode my D6,
There you go.
and I got up to a 7.
Okay. Fire erupts behind you as you stumble forward, bobbing and weaving, avoiding the brunt of it, but there is pain and there is anguish. Back at the top, no need to talk to Maya and Blanca at this moment. Vera, you are at the wall. Thalia, at the end of this turn, you will more than likely be at the wall. So Vera, to climb, it is energy DC 2. Because of
right.
these nice little handholds.
Excellent. Vera appreciates this immensely. Energy DC 2. It's a 5 on the dice. I'm gonna go ahead and spend 1 plot armor and explode that.
Sure, go ahead.
And with the D8, that adds a D8. That's another
Oh, there you go.
explode.
Double explosion. Let's go.
D10. It only adds a 1.
Okay.
So that's a 6 and an 8 and a 1. 15.
Okay. You climb the wall easy peasy.
Woo!
You running into
Yay.
the corridor?
Yes.
Okay. And seeing fire in this thing's mouth, you're like, actually,
I
fuck
don't
that.
want
And you
that.
keep running.
I do
and
not
you
want that.
exit into the tunnel. Dahlia, go ahead and roll me escape. If you can beat this DC by 5, I will allow you. I was gonna let you, if
We
you
gotta
can beat
get
this
outta
by
here.
5, you
Oh,
can
no.
start your climb. But the DC is 19.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen because
You can
I
try.
have a 4.
Well,
I mean,
On
if
this-
you can just chain them.
at the end of this turn, you do make it to the wall. You can start climbing next round, but you turn and are like, okay, and kind of have to brace for at least one more round of dealing with this thing. And Scarlet.
Just gonna try and get to a place where I don't think this thing can reach, and lay low.
Okay.
Trying to get
The
through
only option would be
Yep.
going back through the same way
Back-
that you came.
back the way I came and wait for this thing to try and find its way around, or some other thing, and wait it out.
Okay. You make your way back to the entrance. No roll necessary. Here I come. See, but it just gave me a 19, and now it's trying to earn its spot back in my favor. It is going to you watch the mouth open, and it is going to try and take a bite at you, Thalia.
Oh.
See, it tricks you. It tricks you. You think you can do stuff, and you can't. Go ahead and roll. Let's go with. Let's roll escape. The DC is 7. Okay. So Now we're going to move on to so
Well,
go ahead and
I'm
take your
gonna
plot
get
armor.
chopped.
So go ahead and roll endure. The DC is 9. Boy, golly, that's 5, ain't it? Giant teeth you feel grab onto your arm and you rip your arm free. It takes your sleeve and a chunk of your skin with it.
Oof.
Go ahead and take a point of or a level of damage.
Oop.
You on oof?
I got an oof.
You got an oof.
Okay.
Samesies.
Back at the top. Thalia, it's all you. Everybody else is gone. The only person left in this room. So go ahead and roll energy DC 2.
That's a 1.
Would you like to spend a plot armor?
Need it.
Hey, wait, did I get one? I just used one.
I mean, you just
just failed.
failed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Every single time you fail, you get a plot armor.
2.
All right, there you go. There is a moment where your newly injured arm, your like hand slips on your own blood, and you're like, you know, I don't have a fucking choice. And you just dig deep and push forward as you watch his teeth dig into the wall and scrape past you. As you pull yourself up, you look back. You don't see Scarlet.
Mm.
And you run into the tunnel. Maya, Blanca, Vera, Thalia. You run quickly through the tunnel, fleeing the pain of new injuries making itself apparent. A voice echoes through both tunnels. You won't get far. There's nowhere to go. As you all sprint, Scarlet, you are plunged into complete darkness. There is no light in this tunnel. And are you going all the way back to where you began, the nest of crowns?
No, I actually kind of wanted to stay fairly close to where it entered into the big room and see if there was like just wait and listen for this thing to leave. And when it felt safe to try to make my way across by myself, or find another way, but like, along the way, but but not go all the way back.
How long till you get hungry? How long until you grow weary? How long till I blow fire? You could make this quite easy for yourself, as I know the way you have come. There's nowhere to go. So we can sit as long as you like for now. I'll be comfortable.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to any of those questions, but I certainly know I'm not going to say them out loud. Like,
Oh,
so
smart thing.
she can think that I ran back, or she can think I'm waiting right there, or whatever she wants. Like, she's not getting a response out of Scarlet.
You hear this creature like walking forward, stops at the entryway, and you do not hear it retreat. It is now just currently camping in front of the way into the corridor. That's where it currently sits.
And Scarlet's gonna do her best to not make any noises and wait to listen for this thing to leave. Like, that's where we're at.
And it is just as quiet. Meanwhile, 4 princesses fucking sprint down a tunnel at full speed. The 4 of you running. At the front, Blanca leading the charge, and immediately something in your brain says, stop. It's almost like before the rest of you can process, something like, stop moving. And you skid to a stop, and you feel rocks crumple beneath the fronts of your feet, and you hover at a ledge and pull yourself back before tumbling forward. And you stare down at a dark abyss as Maya and Vera and Thalia all run into the space and are able to stop themselves right before bumping into you and sending everybody flying into this abyss.
Thank God.
The four of you, making it past the first area together, acquire the ability for the team, which means you can now share plot armor.
Oh.
So you can give somebody a plot armor. So you could be like, oh, you don't have one? Take it.
Good,
So
good.
you 4 have that for your current teamwork and moving forward into this nightmare hellscape. You can see on the other side of this fissure, there is a gentle pink light in a body of water. You can see that the crevasse has a bit of an incline on one side and the other. The other side has foliage that seems to be nourished by the water. So this side, kind of like just flat stone. The other incline, vines and foliage. Between them, an expanse of darkness that leads to something you cannot see. But you can see that light across the way. What do you all do as you look around? There is no Scarlet.
No one saw Scarlet come with us. I would have thought she would have heard.
I couldn't see her when I was climbing up.
Well, no good if we get ourselves killed looking for her. Does anyone see a way across?
Not certain that I do, although if we were able to perhaps traverse the foliage along that side, if it holds strongly enough, perhaps we could climb across it. I'd chance that before I would chance sliding down the other side.
You described the thing one more time.
Let me re-explain. So you guys are on one side of a fissure. Your side has an incline that leads into the fissure that is barren.
Oh, I see
and the other side has foliage.
Okay, my brain picture was oriented the wrong way around. Okay.
So there is more grabbable things on the other side. This side, not as much.
Okay. And Scarlet had the rope.
Unfortunately.
Well, let us see what we can do here. If we cannot advance without Scarlet and the rope, then perhaps we figure out some way to address the dragon, distract it perhaps long enough for Scarlet to navigate that room. We'll see. Let's see what we can do here for right now. Hopefully we can rejoin her later.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this iron crown and drop it over the ledge to see how far down it sounds this hole goes.
You acknowledge Vera's optimism that Scarlet is not dead. Step to the edge and throw your crown.
Small and quick.
I'm sure she's fine. It's very funny if it just lands like 5 feet down.
Exactly. That's what
you're like, guys,
it's fine.
It's easy. But you watch this crown disappear into darkness, and you count. You count to at least 10, you think?
Ooh.
The jump between the two, like if you went from the top to the other side, it's a bit harder. It's also like it's a narrower space to jump at the end of the inclines.
Right, so I think we have to jump and grab.
That would seem to be the best way. Yes.
Right,
That
I'm gonna
looks
go.
manageable.
Let's do it. Just go do it.
Maya,
Go.
you just run and you
I
go
am
for
getting
it.
away from this dragon.
You're like, goodbye.
Either I
so-
die here or I die later. It doesn't matter.
Death there, death here. Death is death, am I right, boys?
We gotta move.
Death is everywhere down here, so.
You watch Maya throw the crown, think for a solid 5 seconds. Well, actually 10 seconds to hear it hit the ground.
Yep,
Mhm.
10 seconds.
And then runs forward, skids down the side of the incline, and goes for the jump.
Let's do it.
Maya,
Jesus Christ.
go ahead and give me escape or energy DC 8.
Oh,
I would have
we'll
offered
go
to
with escape.
toss you
All right.
across.
That's a 9 on the die. We're gonna blow it up with plot
blow it up.
armor.
Yeah, I get it.
So let's roll
You ain't
this.
need nobody to
D12.
throw you.
That's an 11 on that die. Okay,
Oh.
so 21.
21.
Damn.
Hey, Maya, do you want to explain how this looks?
I don't even think she has to grab onto this foliage. It's more of just a skids down and just springs across foliage and does a
Mm.
nice roll at everything.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Across the
Wow.
rock.
slide down the incline, leap across. Your foot hits some of the foliage, propels yourself up, and you just kind of roll onto the platform.
Oh, well, yes, it looks
Easy.
very easy when you do it that way.
Easy.
Maya looks back and says, easy. Maya, you've acquired the ability Brave. This is an ability you can use once. I'm going to say per game is what I'm currently going with, and I'll see if that changes depending on the speed at which we move. But when going first in a dangerous scenario, you can roll your current highest dice value. So if you have a higher dice value in another skill, you can use that once instead of your current dice value.
Dang. Neat.
Yeah, you watch Maya casually jump across the way.
Well, I have to assume
I'm
that
gonna need
both
a
of you
cigarette
win.
for this. And can I have one of the matches to light a cigarette?
I don't see why not.
We don't have
I'm
a torch
assuming.
anymore.
Yeah,
So-
we sure
Oh.
don't.
What are we going to use them for?
Yeah. Match for pipe. Or for cigarette.
I will. I'll light my cigarette and then I'll follow suit, trying to look super hot as I do it.
Okay. It
Got
is
to.
escape or energy DC 8.
All right, well, I'll roll escape. Ooh, that's bad.
Oh.
I can get up to a 7 with my own 2
Ooh.
plot armor.
Said you need an 8?
Yeah, does anyone have an
Yeah, you
extra?
take my plot armor.
Thank you.
Mm.
I got an
Need it.
8 exactly now.
I hold my hand out to catch her.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wow.
Work.
It's a lot easier if you aren't smoking while jumping. You can use both hands.
One hand is still holding a cigarette.
Yeah.
It's the cigarette holder. It's the long one. I don't know how it didn't get crushed in the fall, but like she just ducked
never
and rolled
will.
around it, I guess.
It has plot armor.
It
This
does.
it probably would have been easier without it, but it's mommy's little vice now.
Can I
Come
try?
on, ladies, jump on.
I'm gonna
Jump
try.
across.
Ugh.
I'm gonna take the cigarette and try it.
Maya
Yeah, you
takes a
can- you can
cigarette
try
and
my cigarette.
smokes it.
Oh,
Vera and Thalia, you stand on the opposite side of the fissure.
why not? Vera will go ahead and give her a sprint and a running jump.
Okay, it is a DC 8 for escape or energy.
It is a D10 for either of those for me.
So pick one.
Should I pick?
Yes, because it might explode.
It's true. That's true. That's true. Energy.
Okay.
Badoo. Oh, it's a 3 on the dice. What was the total DC again?
8.
8.
Failing
no,
by
I
5
don't-
seems like a choice.
Yeah, I've got 1 plot armor. I can bump it up by 1 so that I don't take damage. Yeah.
Okay. Vera, you move forward and jump, and you go and grab onto the foliage, and then there is the horrible rocketing pain of your burned arm, and your hand
Yeah.
just reflexively lets go.
Oh,
You skid
shit.
down the incline and reach with your other arm and are now just kind of dangling on that side of the fissure. But
That's
your
the bad
Maya
arm now.
and Blanca are able to like, hey bud, and like are able to pull you
Watch the
up.
arm, watch the arm!
Thalia, you stand alone on one side of a fissure.
She's going to try to jump across that.
Okay, give me escape or energy, DC 8.
We're gonna go with energy. And I explode.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, so that's gonna bring us to a 9.
All right. Thalia, graceful.
So graceful.
You kind of just watch and assess everybody's technique. And honestly, hey, this is kind of climbing a little bit. You're like, half of it's climbing. I just got to get to the climbing part.
True.
And you skid down, and your body just kind of catches the air, and you just sail across,
Wow.
grabbing onto the foliage and pull yourself up.
Very graceful. I've always struggled in that particular area.
Difficult with the injuries.
Yes, rather does crimp most styles, I think.
From where you all stand, you can see this body of water. You watch as drips kind of make their way down little rivulets towards a small pool with pink bioluminescent moss inside of it. And just foliage abundant and lush and full of life around this space. You can also see past this, on the 2 sides, there are 2 paths. What are we doing?
I'm looking at this moss. Seems suspicious. Have I seen moss underground like this before?
Yeah, you splash into the water and you're like, let's take a peek. As
Is
you
this underground
It's
moss?
pink. I
Let me
have
look
to
at
look
this
at it.
I mean,
moss.
that's true. Did it grow from dead princesses?
Dead princess moss, perfect. You
Great.
lean forward, sloshing into the water, and kind of like reach in and like touch at the moss, and the gentle like small cuts that have like formed on your fingers from wielding a sharp hip bone to like dig into the wall, and just like these small superficial injuries. You kind of like, you're like, I don't know what this shit is, and you like pull your hand back, and those injuries are healed.
Ooh.
I still have a lot of dress here. Can I make a little satchel to carry moss in?
Surely.
This is a big dress.
You kind of scoop up your dress and begin to put moss into it, and when you stand up and pull it out of the water, you watch it start to dim.
Oh no. Okay, guys. It has to be in the water. It likes water.
Oh. What does it do?
Oh, it helps your hands. Shows her really nice hands. There are no scratches on them.
Pristine fingers.
And it's not
Look
like
at that.
Vera saw Maya doing all the like heavy lifting of like digging out those handholds.
I
So I
dug
don't
up
think
that whole wall for you guys. And look, they're great now.
it doesn't look as though they changed at all. It's like your hands are just impervious to damage.
So you just put your hands in the water?
In the moss.
All right. Why not?
Blanca will like take a bath with this moss.
I'm washing
Blanca,
my clothes.
Yes. I'll
Um,
help putting it on people's heads.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you just start
Injuries, burns.
spooning these things onto people. Sally, you like dip
This
your
is great.
hand in, and you feel like this tingling sensation as like the terrible scratches on your arms slowly begin to knit themselves back together.
Ooh,
If you have one or more levels of injury, you can get rid of one of them.
Wow.
yay!
If you
I
take
go
time
from-
to bathe in this area, you can get rid of it.
So
I go
Maya
for-
wasn't injured. She's just gonna get out and
Yeah.
go look at these two paths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was fine.
Mm, you were
go
already
ahead and-
okay.
While your friends heal, you can go ahead and roll Educate DC 5.
Well, that's a 3, and I have no
Uh-huh.
plot armor.
Ooh. I mean,
We're
I have
great.
one, but I don't have
Nah,
more
it's
than
all
that.
good. I got a new plot
Okay.
armor now.
All right.
I'm just gonna squint at these while you guys bathe.
Mm.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, interesting. You're like, I could probably figure out more if I went deeper, but currently where you are, you're like, I'm not sure.
Let's go sit against the wall and wait.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. You guys take time and heal a level of injury. Eventually, you come back cleaner and healthier
Hmm.
and stare at the two pathways before you.
Can we make the same educate roll?
Sure.
See
Everyone's
if we
welcome
can
to roll
figure out if
Educate DC 5.
like-
Why not?
Yeah, one of them maybe goes up where the other goes down. Maybe one has a breeze or
Well,
something.
you know, sometimes it'll look like it's going down and it's only for like 2 seconds and then it goes up. So you can't really trust it that way.
It's true. It's true.
The underground
I fail.
paths.
Yeah.
No, I've only got a 2 on the dice and I don't have plot armor enough to bump it.
What
3.
did every 3?
4.
Okay. 4. Okay. Blanca, the best you are able to surmise is that one go down deeper, one go up towards sky. They both seem to have like a gentle climb.
One is an in, one is a D.
Blanca will say, well, do you think it's a cruel joke that it leads toward the sky, or this whole marriage has seemed like a cruel joke so far, so
It might not be beyond the pale for these people to incorporate reverse psychology into their construction. If nothing else, perhaps we can try a ways down the down-leading path, and if it seems disadvantageous, we can retrace our steps.
All right. Downwards. Get up and
People
start
will
walking.
Hopefully, upwards thereafter.
Okay. I will say, as you begin to go downwards, you are able to gather more information. You begin to hear like the sounds of water on rocks and the smell of like mildew.
Is this the same, any kind of the same smell we've encountered thus far, or is this a new set of smells?
I mean, there was a faint smell of this everywhere to an extent, but this is much stronger.
Okay.
perhaps
Perhaps
another
there's a-
subterranean pool down here.
Some kind of lake, maybe.
Careful with your
either-
step. Maya, was it?
Mhm.
Well, it's a pleasure, I'm sure.
In point of fact, I'm not sure if any of us have given proper introductions to one another.
No, we did yesterday.
It was in
Well,
brief,
me
that
and
is
you.
true. Yes.
Others, though. No.
Indeed. Dolly, there was, I had heard your names in passing, but to not be rude. Vera Druran, Princess of Sabertron. And you?
Blanca. I hate the title princess. I would be a queen if not for, well, my last husband ran away before we could, really make things official.
Hmm.
Unfortunate.
Sad.
Seems like a running theme. Perhaps we should endeavor to find you a more suitable suitor after this.
Oh, I plan to make Marrow beg.
Not certain I'll allow Lucio to live long enough for that, but we'll see. Perhaps I'll be feeling generous.
That is entirely your prerogative, and I implore you to not let my assumed mercy stay your hand.
I rather thought that might be the sentiment. And in
I-
point of fact, I do intend to get that book of poetry back from Luciano, and if any of you want anything back that you may have lent to these curs, I will gladly pick it off of their corpses as well, if you desire.
I do wonder if they anticipate any of us to survive.
Probably not. I insist that we surprise them.
We can certainly try.
We've certainly survived some thus far. And we're not badly off now.
Thalia, your roll should have had a -3 to the DC.
Which
Because
one?
of your skill. The observing the navigation of the underground corridors.
Ah,
That was an educate roll.
Yeah, but remember, it doesn't matter what
Yeah,
type of attribute. But it was a navigation roll for subterranean.
so it would have lowered your DC compared to everybody else.
And I'm pretty sure you had a 3 because I think
Yeah,
Blanca
I
had a
don't
4.
recall what the DC was.
The DC was 5.
Yeah.
So as you have I will say there's a moment you stop and you're like, we're chatting,
Yeah.
girly energy.
Mhm.
And because I remembered it in this moment, and
A little
everybody gets
pause in the
one.
walk and talk.
Everybody gets one. I will give you more information about the 2 pathways as I had time to sit here and ponder. I was like, oh yeah, you're good at that.
Oh, yeah.
So there are the 2 pathways. You get to the scent of mildew and the sound of water, and you're like, okay, so who are you guys? And you guys chat.
Mhm.
And Thalia, you kind of take a moment and you kind of step back a bit and you're like, uh-huh. And then you take one more look while you're still close enough to backtrack a bit.
Mhm.
There is the water and mildew in the decline. In the
Mhm.
incline, you can hear wind.
Hmm.
And then you return and you're like, maybe we'll live. Maybe we
Maybe we
who's
will.
to say?
Would be nice.
Like Maya's just sitting there selling to the air to Scarlet. It was really nice to meet you. So sorry you didn't make it.
Hmm.
So sorry, bestie.
Just assuming she's here.
I believe her spirit
Honestly-
is here with us.
It might be more promising if we take the incline.
Do you think so? You think that there's
Going
an
below
honest
just
chance?
seems to be water.
Hmm.
But I can
Mm.
hear air, wind.
The air is certainly more musty down this way. It would be difficult for them to mask fresh air from this channel. Perhaps it would be best for us to make our way back and head upwards.
Always trust a woman's intuition.
Mm.
All of
Wait,
you
Turn
nod,
around.
make your way up to the incline.
Absolutely. We
You're
all
like-
know what we're talking about.
Everyone's
Yes.
intuition was go down,
Intuition.
and they're like, no, trust your intuition, the second one. And you make your way up and go.
The second
Well,
intuition.
we were second guessing our intuition at first because we knew incline go up probably means go up. But what if these people are trying to play us? So we second guessed
true.
ourselves at first. We shouldn't have second guessed ourselves. We were right the first time.
Never second
And-
guess yourself.
Never.
And there's always a path to water if you need it.
that too.
And you all go, yeah.
Mhm.
And immediately turn around
Whee!
and go back up towards the wind.
Mhm.
The path slowly begins to wind and incline upwards, and eventually you come to a large, flat wall, a dead end.
Mm.
But you see a break in the stone, sunlight pouring in high above you, right above a thin ledge. There's a divot in the wall, though you can see that its sides are too far apart for like one of you. If you walked over and like did your full like arm length,
Mhm.
you are too short to like use it effectively and wedge yourself in.
What if we
Uh.
had two of us facing each other?
That's a possibility. That would give you a little more length.
It'd be a team climb. It wouldn't be the easiest in the world necessarily, but it would be doable and it would cross the space.
Well, I'm always down for teams.
And seeing as we have not one of our teammates nor the rope that they very prudently brought along with them, I suppose we must make do with ourselves.
Hey, who's
All right.
first?
Well, would seem most prudent for us to match up the shortest of us with the tallest, so that we will still wind up with an equal distance spread across between.
I think Blanca's in the middle. Thalia and Maya can fight for shortest.
Yeah.
Well, then we're matching up with Vera and Blanca. So Maya's just like, Blanca's my buddy.
Mm-hmm.
We've been buddies.
Yeah, y'all have been climbing already. Y'all already have your climbing vibes like
Mhm.
matched.
Yeah.
Climbing vibes
Mm.
matched.
So who's going first? Thalia, do not forget that you have a skill in climbing.
I think we should go first since Maya has a skill for going first.
You get
That's
to use it once if you'd like to,
in the
Oh,
and then it's
entire-
gone
during the
forever.
Yeah, the whole game.
I don't want to
Not-
use that at the moment.
Yeah.
Well,
My highest die isn't a D20 yet, so
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Bank that.
you go first.
we
And
went first last time. It makes sense for you two to
Yeah.
take a turn.
Very polite of you. Thank
Can
you.
I try that again? Reaching for the cigarette.
yeah, you can. Here, I'll just light a second one and we'll keep it
Great.
going.
Awesome. You two smoke
Amazing.
and watch Vera and Thalia go like back to back and like hook
Yeah.
arms. They're like, okay.
Just like in the Emperor's Groove, man.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
so I'm going to give you the heads up. This is a 3-tiered thing. It'll get
Cool.
progressively harder.
Mhm.
And if one of you fall, you both fall. And at higher
Yep.
level, higher chance of injury.
Mm.
So
Makes sense.
we'll
That
go
tracks.
ahead and start. These are going to be energy rolls. The first DC is 3. So Thalia, the DC is 0 for you. You can go ahead and roll though.
Hell yeah. That's a 9 on the dice for me. Actually,
Okay.
it being a D10, I'm going to spend a plot armor to explode that dice.
Okay. And as a reminder, there will be 2 more rolls.
Understood. Understood. But in this case, I'm hoping this will help.
Here's hoping.
That adds a 4, which makes it a 14 total.
Okay. You begin to make your way upwards. You guys watch them and you're like, honestly, it's working. Wow.
Mm.
All right. The next leg of the race, energy DC 6.
All right.
So 3 for me.
Yes, 3 for you.
Well, explodes 8.
There you go.
That's a 9 for me.
All right.
17 total.
Heck
Okay.
yeah,
You guys watch them.
Thalia.
Guys, they're getting high up, and you're like, oh, if they fall.
Yeah.
That's gonna be so
That's
bad if they fall.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be bad. You guys are just smoking and watching. Like, that's gonna be tough. You guys got it. Okay. Last go. Energy DC 9. So a 6 for Thalia.
Okay. just meets a
Ooh.
6 with my plot armor.
Okay.
Well,
Hold the line.
I have one less plot armor than I need to meet.
Damn, sucks, bro.
You'd have to get one from somebody else if they were
I
so
just used
inclined.
mine.
Yeah, no, I
can
understand you
use
did.
mine, but then I have 0 going up
No,
this
yeah, I
wall.
understand. I understand.
So
I do not expect y'all to blow
You
one
just
and only one.
need one, right?
I do.
Okay, you can have one so you don't die.
I do
Yay.
appreciate that. I'm spending one of my own too.
Okay.
I appreciate that. No die.
All right. Both of you pull yourselves up onto this ledge and can feel warm air through this opening, the sun bright on your faces. Both of you go and push through and break your way out into the bright sun and stare at the expanse of the forest, the jungle before you, hundreds and hundreds of feet below the ground. You can see so incredibly far, and you can also see the sheer cliff beneath you,
Okay.
the intense drop beneath you. And as you look out over the beautiful view in any other scenario, you can see a bit of a clearing in this jungle, and there is a figure upon a horse facing the mountain.
Are we able to
Do we
make out the
recognize it?
figure?
You look forward. The figure, you know what? Go ahead and roll me educate. DC 10.
Hmm.
What, you guys don't want plot armor?
I mean, I do.
You
5.
guys don't want that?
Oh shit. Oh, that's a D4. D4. I exploded.
Yay.
Educate, explode to a D6. We'll see. It's a 5 on the dice. I don't have any plot armor to spend, so it's a 9.
explode! Do it! Take my last plot armor.
Holy
Oh,
shit,
shit.
are you sure?
Do it!
Okay then. It's a D8. It adds a 5. That's 10, 15.
Dahlia, you take your point of plot armor. It is a Vera, you're able to pick up on that it is a figure upon a horse
Okay.
wearing a red cloak.
Okay.
A bastard.
Probably somebody related to the family what tried to get us killed. If I had to assume, looks like someone wants to know whether or not we survived. Let's lay low. Best as we're able. Can we tell if we've been seen?
Oh, 100%.
We have been seen. Okay.
1,000,000%.
Let's not let them know how many of us have survived.
There's not really any getting down from here, so.
Not very much. Yeah. I mean,
Well,
Vera will at least call down to Maya and Blanca and let them know what we've seen.
Did you give him the finger?
Yeah, did you say hi? See who
We
it
were waiting
is?
for you to come up so that you could do the same. It seems they're waiting to see how many of us survived.
Is
Is
there a
there-
way out up there?
Yeah, is there a reason to go up?
There's a sheer cliff face. There's not very much in the way of an easily accessible exit. Jungle for miles.
I think I'll stay down here. Thanks though.
I suppose we'll be looking at the downward pathway next.
Hmm.
What's going to be our easiest way to get down then?
I mean, there's
Unless
only one
these
way
two
to get
wanna-
down.
Paraclimbed it down.
Parachute? Jump?
Nah.
I'll take the damage. And just,
Whee! I just scoot down on my butt.
I mean,
what are you
Sand
doing?
it off. Well, I don't believe there's going to be a good way for us to get out of this facility and into the jungle and then escape from there. I think we're probably going to need to get back down and join Maya and Blanca.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
Okay.
team climb once more. Back
both
down.
of you go back to back and make your way down to your to the two other princesses in the space.
Mhm.
And take note of like, okay, at least there's ways out, but they are also possibly watching us, and it is a gathering of information,
Mhm.
even if it is not a way out. As
I will
you
say, Vera did make sure to throw off a bird on the way back down.
you can feel in your heart that even at this distance, I'm sure he could differentiate the fingers.
Especially with both of them.
He, she, they, who knows?
Whomsoever
It's just
the
kind
fuck.
of a hood. Just sort of a hood at this moment.
It's a Red Riding
Um,
Hood.
Both of you back to back.
Yeah.
Back down.
Make your way back down. Easy enough. You both are
Mm.
now, but you got it.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
got it. Make your way down, and you're like, well, I guess we go to the gross water area. But it was, feeling the sun on your skin, it does something.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does something nice. And you all turn around to leave, and for the first time, look at the entrance of this space.
Mm-hmm.
Marked white by the scrape of rock are names.
Hmm.
Hundreds and hundreds of women's names scattered across this wall. At the entrance of the dead end, you can imagine all of the women who came this far, turned around, and left their name to be remembered. And the four of you stare at this. A rock placed near the entrance, marked white at the top.
How long have they been doing this?
Perhaps as long as the kingdom's been in place.
Makes
They
me
claim
wonder
to have
why.
slayed the last dragon, and clearly they have not.
Clearly not. Anyone care to be remembered?
I certainly will, and I intend to be the one to come back this way and have all of these names transcribed. The libraries in my kingdom will want to know of these crimes.
Okay. Vera picks up the stone and carves their name on the wall. Anyone else?
I will too.
I was waiting to see if the other two are gonna do this.
Yep. Thalia, you take the stone and carve your name onto the wall.
I think Blanca just lights another cigarette instead of doing it.
Yeah, just puts out the last one on the wall. That's my
Okay.
mark.
I can mark his
We have
name.
one match left. I need to I need to keep up with these matches. There's one match left.
Okay.
I'll chain smoke to not waste any more matches.
And I'll take up the rock and we'll proceed to put Blanca's name on there for her, Scarlett's name on there for her.
Nice.
Because she doesn't know if she's going to be there. And then it's like trying to make sure no one sees that she's writing her own name and then another name after her own name on there.
Okay.
Huh.
Go ahead, Maya,
Where's the
and
other name?
roll me escape.
Do it sneaky.
And anybody who thinks they are watching Maya diligently can roll educate.
I mean, Vera's curious.
I'm watching.
Oh,
Oh, not
okay.
really. That's a 1.
I got a 5.
I match a 5.
I blew up a 6.
Ooh,
Mm.
Wow.
hot diggity dog.
It's too bright. I can't see.
Yeah,
The sun is right here.
it be right in my eye.
So I got a 9 total.
Okay. Vera, you see that like she's writing multiple names
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of gets lost in the sauce a bit for like, okay, Scarlet and then, but like there
There's a
are
lot of
literally
names.
hundreds and hundreds of names on this wall and you write one
Yeah.
and move along and it's like they disappear into it.
A little bit.
Maya, can you tell Blanca all the names that you write?
She starts Blanca, Scarlet, Maya, and then Anita.
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 Anita, huh? I think
Mhm.
Blanca will just take a long, sexy drag from her cigarette and not say anything out loud.
And you set the rock down, you all take a moment, and you make your way towards the water. And that is where we are going to stop for tonight. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. We love telling a good story about princesses turned damsels, turned just very cool princesses, buddy climbing walls and punching monsters in the face. That's what happened. Those are the things that happened and we all saw it.
Yeah, we all
If you want
saw
to keep
it.
up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to keep
I
up with
punched
all
a
of us,
dragon in the face.
it's very
Yeah.
true. And you could see more of that at the Dice Cult on Instagram
Yeah.
and Twitter.
We
If
do
you
that
go
every
to
week.
the box below, you can get some beautiful dice that you have watched explode many times today.
Mhm.
Truly a masterful feat. And if you are interested in the continuation of this story, we'll be back next week. Same
Woohoo.
time, same place, right here on YouTube. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We love telling you a story, and we'll see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, cultists.